temple as an excuse to lose their temper. But I've never heard anyone reference God washing feet. Yeah? Never. I've never heard anyone attempting to defend or explain anger by pointing out Jesus washed Judas's feet. Jesus washing feet is one of those things I think we could think about the rest of our life and only think about that and be saints. I can't fathom God washing my feet. I just can't. And it's a powerful thing that when he finished, it's one of the very few things that after he did, he said, you have to do this too. There's very few things he did. There's many things he did and said, someday you will do this. But this is the only time I can think of in John's gospel where he does something and says, what I just did, you have to do. And yet we rarely talk about it. I don't think we know what to do with that kind of humility. God washing feet. It's pretty crazy stuff. He points out that the gift of the Eucharist that he gave was eaten by one who will betray him. And I think in the end, that's something for us to think about. There's so much talk right now in our American Catholicism about who should receive communion and who shouldn't, and what that bishop should do and what this bishop should do. I'm worried enough about me that takes up a lot of my energy. I shouldn't be allowed to touch the Eucharist, let alone consume it and share it. But in the end, what I invite us to remember is the Eucharist isn't magic, huh? Judas received it and betrayed Jesus. Peter received it and denied Jesus. And every disciple not named John received it and ran away. The Eucharist is something we have to cooperate with. We have to cooperate with what God has given us. And I think the best way for us to cooperate with the radical humility and generosity of our God in the Eucharist is maybe to be radically humble and generous ourselves, huh? So today, I have a heart filled with gratitude for the humility of our God and a heart genuinely horrified by it. And I pray that today, as we receive him in the Eucharist, we don't do so in vain. That we don't pretend it's a matter of, well, I receive and God does, but instead I receive and then I'll do. I'll respond to this by imitating it. Amen? Amen. Okay.